unfold. From dial-up dreams to LinkedIn kings, he taught the world how to build through strings. It's the Max Method, no guessing, just growth. 4 steps deep, he's coached them both. Top earners, big burners, trainers, and pros. Max lit the fire, now everyone knows. Started with a spark, now the blueprint's live. Thousands trained and they multiply. From Facebook chats to LinkedIn leads, he plants the seeds, then watches them succeed. Mentor to coach is the guide for the great. Author, speaker, shaping fate. You don't just follow Max, you duplicate. That's how legends elevate. It's the Max Method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game. It's the Max Method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Saturday broadcast. I want to welcome all of my friends that are watching this live on LinkedIn or Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Additionally, I want to welcome all of my students that are participating in this live Zoom. We're right in the middle of a boot camp, so if any of my students have questions, things they want answers to, if you're talking to a prospect and you need help moving the conversation along, please put it in the chat. Kevin, you're not gonna believe how that song was made. Okay, you know, we hear all kinds of things about artificial intelligence, AI, and so there are tools that are out there. That song that you heard was made by two artificial intelligence programs. One went to my website and pulled off all kinds of information about me. And from the information on my website, it came up with the lyrics for the music. Then there's another artificial intelligence program that put it to music. Now, there are advances in artificial intelligence that blow me away. Example, there's a program that you could use that could literally capture 10 years worth of trainings that I've given, capture my voice, replicate my voice, okay? And then reformat everything I've ever done. Now, it's absolutely amazing, all right? But like everything else, just like LinkedIn, there are tools out there available. You have to know how to use the tool, okay? I compare, in our top earner retreats, I compare sailing to network marketing because they're very, very similar in a number of areas. Number one, the primary principle in sailing that is undeniable, irrefutable, and that is you cannot sail directly into the wind. Can't do it. And equally in network marketing, there's one undeniable principle, You want to build a business, you have to talk to people. Because this is a relationship business. Can't sail directly into the wind, you have to talk to people. Second rule is, in order to be successful in a sailboat race, you're competing against other boats. You have to have the right equipment. Okay? Extra winches, extra sails, all this extra stuff. And in network marketing, you got to have the right tools. Equipment, sailboat, tools, network marketing. Third, in a sailboat race, I can have all the best equipment in the world, but you got to have a crew that knows how to use it. And in network marketing, same thing. You have to have the right tools. Now, we have one of the scripts that we're giving everybody, providing everybody, that is going to be unbelievably helpful when it comes to talking to somebody that has had a negative experience with network marketing. And that's a lot of people. And you could literally turn anybody around that tried network marketing before and failed. There's three things that you need to be successful in network marketing. And show me anybody that tried it and failed. They didn't have all three things. First and foremost, you have to be excited and passionate about the company that you're going to be working with. Passionate about the company, passionate about the tools, to the point that you would tell people about it even if they weren't paying you. Everybody that ever tried and failed in network marketing had number one. They didn't have number two, and they didn't have number three. Number two is you have to be working with someone that's successful, that knows how to build the business, specifically on LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social networks, and is committed and dedicated to helping you build a team and grow your business. And when you stop and consider that 95% of the people in network marketing are orphans, whoever got them in the business is no longer in the business. They didn't have number two. And if they did, they didn't have number two for very long. And number three is you have to have good online tools. So when you have a prospect and you want to tell them about the business, you want to show them the business, you have to have websites and, whatever, good online tools. As successful for as long as Herbalife has been in business, they don't have online tools. Nope, they don't have it. They have a totally different format for people that want to build a business. Three things. So when you're talking to someone that tried and failed in network marketing, and we got scripts for it. We're going to go into the scripts in our upcoming boot camp on communicating and closing. So when you're talking to someone that tried and failed, and you need to know what their experience is before you talk to people about your business, all you have to do is find out, what did you try and how long ago did you try it? Why did they think they failed? And then you can come back and you could say, I talk to people all the time that tell me that. And the truth is, network marketing has changed since you tried it. Number one, you no longer have to chase your family and friends. Number two, you don't have to invite people to your house. You don't have to go to their house. You don't have to do home parties. You don't have to advertise all the thing. But the big thing is you don't have to chase your family and friends. It's the number one thing that people hate about this business. Oh, you got to get out of your comfort zone if you want to be successful in network marketing. You've got to be able to talk to your friends. Bullshit. So what does somebody do that's been in 4 or 5 network marketing companies? You don't have any friends. They coined a phrase. You're a member of the NFL club. No friends left. So what do? Oh, well, then you got to do other things. You got to advertise. You got to invest in all these bullshit systems. And over the years, I've watched these system developers. They develop these systems and they sell them to gullible people, but they're so technical, they're so complicated that they give up, really, really quick. I mean, you really have to have a degree in, marketing and, some of the technical stuff that's available, to make it work. And most people don't have that. You want to make money in any business, you have to be able to bring somebody into the business and show them quickly what do they have to do to make $1,000. What do they have to do? I'm going to jump into someone's account in a minute. I'm going to show you exactly how simple it could be. If they're on Facebook, all they got to do is change their picture and they can start conversations with people that react to that. And just from posting a picture, depending upon how many people you're connected to, you can be talking to people, the same people that you would have picked up the telephone and call, who would have basically turned you down. All right? Laugh at you. Respond to a picture change. Go, Betty, I'm glad you love my picture. It's been a while since we talked. What's new? What's going on in your world? So Betty's going to come back and she's going to tell you. And you're going to find that 85% of the people that you ask that question to are going to come back and ask you the same thing. So what's new in your world? Life couldn't be better. As a matter of fact, I recently started an internet business that is doing so well that we're going to be able to retire by the end of the year and move to a house on the beach in Florida. And the key is after you say that, you swing the conversation back to them. So how are the kids? How's your husband doing? Now, the average network marketer is going to say something like that, and then we're going to retire to the beach in Florida. I would love to get on a Zoom with you and show you what you're doing because this is right up your alley. No, you're before you talk to somebody about your business, you want to qualify them, even though they're your friends. And you're going to have a higher conversion rate. You're going to have a higher closing ratio. Because the one thing that all of you don't have is a lack of people to talk to. Okay? And the more people that you talk to that clearly have what you're looking for, the faster your business is going to grow. All right, so I'm looking in the box here, and Gino wants to know, could I look at his profile and take to see if he wants to make any changes? All right, so let me first, Gino will get to that. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip over to LinkedIn. All right, now I'm in Jeff's account. Jeff is, one of my advanced students. We just started working together. And I'm basically getting his profile set up and going over the process. So Jeff, let's go over and bring up his profile. Right now he's looking at mine. All right. So the power of your profile, number one, the covers. Now you could turn your cover into a slideshow. And what the slideshow does is it gives people a bigger sense of who you are and what you're all about. Picture your headline down here is important. And everything in your headline reflects what you do that is of value to the people that you're looking to talk to. So if we go over, we look at Jeff. He's a lifestyle expert. All of you, every one of you, everybody that's here, that's in network marketing, you are a lifestyle transitioning coach. You help people that want to change their lives, that want to do something else. Do something else. You're a coach. You're a home business mentor. You're a LinkedIn social media expert. These are the words that make people curious about who you are and what you do. Okay? I mean, it's not hard. As a matter of fact, you end up finding that when you have a really strong profile, other people will take a look at it and they go, whoa, I like that. And people copy what you do. Except you have additional information that they don't have. So now you come down here and note, let's come down here a bit. The next part comes down to what you post. Let me take a look at this for just a second. Okay, so Gino, we just posted this a little while ago. And Gino liked it. We're going to take a look at Gino's profile. Now, let me unmute Jeff. Okay, now Gino, I'm sorry, Jeff, we added this here. And but it's not showing. It's not showing here. Was there a reason you didn't want this up here? I mean, maybe, your boss or people that you work with, you didn't want.
Yeah, I think our intention was to put it there and it just didn't show up like we wanted.
Right. Right. So what we have to do is let's go back. I thought so. Let's come back here. And we're going to edit the page from here. So we got to come down here to your experience. Here we go. So now sometimes what happens is features on LinkedIn stop working. So this is how you move things around. And we're going to pop it there. And then we're going to move it again. We're going to save it. and then hit the refresh. So, because it usually takes 24 hours. If it doesn't switch, then I've got something else that we can do to make it happen. So we won't worry about that now. All right, so now Jeff is in the process. He's looking for people to talk to. All of you. Now, he's only got 226 connections. So he's in the process of searching for people to talk to. Now, if you're going to talk to people, that's the beauty of this whole social media process. It's not hard. Okay, you're at a party, huge party. It's like a Super Bowl party, magnified by 1,000. So you got all these people that you could talk to. And imagine if you had a black tie affair, okay? And all the men are in tuxedos, the women are in evening dresses, everybody's dressed to the nines. Okay. And so, you know, you can't tell what people do. I mean, they're all dressed to the nines. But what would you do? For example, Herbalife used to have a tool. It was a pin. It was a white pin. It was 6 inches in diameter with red letters. Want to lose weight? Ask me how. And so all you had to do is wear the pin. Women would keep it on their purse. Men would, you wear it. People see the pin. That was like the fundamental attraction marketing deal. People put magnetic signs on their cars. Want to lose weight? Ask me how. Would you wear that pin to a black tie affair? Some people would. Okay. So what do you, and they've got these pins, it's not just a white pin with red letters. I mean, they got pins that flash. Okay. Want to lose weight? Ask me how. So what happens to those people when they go to a black tie affair? People see you coming, and pretty soon the word gets out there. You see that fat guy over there that's talking about losing weight? You see it with that pin, and people avoid you. They avoid you. And if they don't avoid you, what happens? You try to start a conversation and they, I got to go to the bathroom. We've got to go refresh my drink. And it's the same thing when people put their LinkedIn and Facebook profiles and turn them in to commercials for their business. You want the profile to be a commercial for you. You put yourself out there as the person that people want to know. You put yourself out there as the person that could solve the problems of the people that you're looking for. And so people on these social networks, LinkedIn, what makes LinkedIn so great is, and LinkedIn introduced it a year ago. Come up here. Let's look for all the people on LinkedIn that are open to work. You come down here, you click on people. So all these people are open to work. Hello? Now, just because they're open to work doesn't mean you want to talk to them. Open to work. I mean, really? It's that simple? It's that simple. So let's put people who are open to work that have sales experience. Okay. Hello? I mean, Are you getting this? If you're not talking to 5 or 10 people about this every day, you're an idiot. If you want to tell me you're serious about building a business, I'm sorry. You got 1,180,000,000 people on LinkedIn. And you mean to tell me all you have to do is create a profile? And here's Kristen. Who is she? What does she do? Is Kristen somebody that you want to talk to? Well, she's open to part-time work in HR, talent acquisition, administration, or data entry. Well, talent acquisition makes sense. But you're looking for somebody that knows how to sell, likes to sell. So it looks like I just took time off from my son because my job was eliminated in May. So she was a talent administrator. She managed the recruitment process. Now, you want to talk to her, or you want to talk to somebody that was actually doing the recruiting? Let's pass on her. Okay. Jessica is a nurse with all kinds of credentials, open to work, medical and pharmaceutical sales. Hello? Okay. Now, if you can't tell the difference between these two people as to who you want to talk to, okay, with all due respect, disconnect yourself because this isn't for you. Okay, you have to be blind. I don't want to appear harsh, all right? But for those of you that are in boot camp, your goal is to sign up 5 people before the end of the month. In order to do that, you have to be reaching out to the right people. Okay? So here, she's open to work, medical and pharmaceutical sales. You know this, the turnover in pharmaceutical sales is outrageous. So let's scroll down. The first thing, the only thing that you want to know is she active? Well, she hasn't posted anything. So let's look at her activity. Well, she posted something a year ago. Now, these are new features that LinkedIn, let's look at comments. Well, she commented on something a year ago. She's not that active. Let's go to reactions. Okay, she reacted to this 5 months ago. So as long as we've got activity here. Now, let's go back and look at her profile. Now you can do, it takes a minute to go through this. Okay, so according to this, she's a nurse. She was doing this part-time. Nurses make phenomenal networkers, okay? So what are we going to do? Let's come over here. To the first message. You take the first message. Now, understand that she's not the most active person out there, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to send her a connection request, and we're going to add a note. Now, we know that sending a GIF, sending a moving image, gets you more visibility. But we don't want to waste time doing that yet. Now, by the same token, if we look over here on the right, more profiles. Medical, here's another one. Medical sales. Let's bring up her profile. Now, what's the difference between her and her? Whoops. What's the difference between the two of them? Well, number one, she's paying for the service. So you know, the only reason you see this LinkedIn icon is because she paid for the month. Open to work. Now that means one of two things. Either she's looking for a new job, or she's got a job like a personal trainer and she's open to work. She's looking for clients. So now we come down here. Well, she did the open to work. Now, according to this, she started a new position 2 months ago. This is that feature that you all gotta love. So what's with the open to work frame? Come down and take a look. So she started this, but she's got the open to work frame. Whoops, wait a minute. No, she started this in June and she did it for 2 months and now she's looking for work again. Okay. And she was an associate district manager. All right. This woman is 10 times better than the other one. All right. So, but we don't want to follow her. We're going to go over here to more. We're going to connect. And we're going to add a note. Pop in the message. LinkedIn has suggested several times because of what you do. Send her the message. Now, the more selective you are about who you talk to and approach initially, the more successful you're going to be. Okay? So the first question when she accepts is going to be, well, why do you have the open to work frame? I mean, what happened? What happened? And that's all there is to it. Okay? So I'm going to pop at it. So Jeff, what you want to do is you want to reach out to minimum 10 people a day.
Okay.
All right. And send those connection requests. And then, and what I'm going to do, because I have no patience. So I'm going to close the window. I'll be right. I disconnected us, so bear with me for just a second. Because it's going to be faster this way. Now we're going to take a look at some of your profiles and see how you're doing. So we're going to look at Gino. Let's look at Let's look at Carissa. And Carissa, we're happy you're here. You know, people are always amazed. They don't realize how many people have the same name. I'm going to open up. So, good morning, Carissa. Do you have a page on LinkedIn?
Good morning. I'm the second one down.
Or this one here.
Yeah, Freedom Facilitator.
Okay, let's bring up your profile.
Thank you. It's a work in progress.
You know, let me just say this. We're all works in progress.
We are, yes.
Okay. And there isn't every time I do one of these sessions, I'm always learning something new. You know, I see things that didn't exist a week ago. So let's take a look. We're empowering and mentoring professionals seeking lifestyle change, deeply invested in assisting those who care for others. Okay. And let's come down. You follow me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a connection request so you can connect, because we'll just send that without a note. Okay, so now, social worker.
Yep.
You know, I have a social worker story. If I have time, I'll share it with everybody. Okay. All right, so yeah, I got a couple minutes. When I was building a network marketing business, I had a friend that was a social worker connected with the Chicago school system. And AOL, you know, with AOL, you had a buddy list over here on the right. And you could see the people that you were connected to that were online. So she used to pop on every night around 10 o'clock. And, you know, we would talk, you know, for a couple of minutes. We became friends. And what I didn't realize was, well, I came to know that in addition to being a social worker connected with the Chicago school system, she also had her own counseling practice. So she was really doing, you know, she was making about $150,000 a year. And there was, you know, basically no need. We were just friends. I wasn't eager to push my business. You know, the way it was set up was, you know, people would ask me, you know, what do I do? And so I had a system. I had my screen name on AOL was Mentor 2006. Now, I wanted the name Mentor, I couldn't get it, so the computer assigned me the number 2006, and that was back in 1995. So people used to ask me, what's up with the number? And so I came up with an answer that made people curious. I have a fast-growing internet business that is growing so fast that it's going to enable me.
Happy ending chicken.
It's going to enable me
People.
to, in 2006, I expect to be sailing in the South Pacific. It's growing so fast. I expect to be sailing in the South Pacific on a 150-foot sailboat with 10 of my closest friends. Everybody wanted to be my friend. What do I got to do to get on the boat? So, at any event, our company had big events, and in fact, come to think of it, I shared this with Kevin when we talked last week. So, our company had events. There were at least two events every month. So the company had an event in Chicago and had an event in Dallas. And so I told them I'm coming to Chicago for an event. And I used to say I'm coming to Chicago for a mini convention. For a convention and a little mini vacation. You know, check out a couple of restaurants, check out the sites. So that would make people curious. Well, I was coming to Chicago because Les Brown was having was speaking, and people in the school system in Chicago, they love Les Brown. And when she heard that Les Brown was going to be there, she wanted, oh man, can I go? So she wanted to go to the event, not because I was telling her about the business, but because she wanted to hear Les Brown. And as we got closer to the event, she was the only prospect that I had in Chicago, but I had like 12 people that wanted to meet me in Chicago, in Dallas. So I came back and, told her, listen, I hate to do that, I'm not coming to Chicago. I got to go to Dallas. But she really wanted to hear Les Brown. So I called up the organizer and I just said, listen, I'm sending a friend of mine, please, be courteous, be nice to her. So she shows up, she goes to the event, and at these networking events, people would, they had name tags. People with a blue framed name tag, were distributors. People with a red framed name tag were guests. So she was a guest, but she wasn't with anybody. And everybody was nice to her, listen, let me tell you about our business, blah, blah. I never talked to her about the business. The event sold her on the business and the company. In fact, she got to meet Les Brown. Les Brown was a distributor in the company, and she could actually join Les Brown's business. But she says, yeah, but if I were going to, I didn't know anything about the business. I love the business. I want to work with Max. Well, why? Because Max is going to show me how to do this business on the internet. And this was back in 1996. Okay. Back then, people wanted to know how to build the business on the internet, but social networks weren't really around then. Facebook in 2008 opened everything up. With Facebook, it made it okay to put your picture up. Otherwise, before that, MySpace, people had screen names. Now on Facebook, you're putting your picture up. You go in public. So anyway, she ended up getting, she called me after the event, said, man, I love it. Listen, why didn't you ever tell me about the business? I said, well, because, you were happy, I didn't think you were looking for anything else. Oh, no, so she signs up in my business. Now, what I never realized was she was active socially. She was the president of the Social Workers Association for the entire state of Illinois. I had no idea. It wasn't on her profile. Okay. And the following year, she became president of the social network, the Social Workers Association in the entire country. So you never know what goes beyond what you see on the profile. So, all right, so you're a passive income professional. What does that mean? So you're a network marketer?
Yes, I just got into network marketing.
Okay. Oh, so this is your first experience?
Yes, but I have been doing research for the last 5 years and 2 months. So I really considered myself in the profession at that point.
And that's okay. That's okay. And what company are you working with?
Life Plus.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm in your boot camp.
Oh, okay. Super.
Yes, with a bunch of other people from Life Plus.
Right. Okay. So are you working with John Settler?
John and Anna.
Right.
Yes.
So okay. So you weren't in. So you're new to this. I've known
I
John. I didn't know Anna.
mhm.
They were building Zango years ago,
Yeah.
and they did very, very well.
Yes. Yes. No, I'm so grateful to be working under them.
And I have to tell you, you couldn't ask for better upline sponsors. They're
I know. I know. Yes, thank you for confirming that.
In fact, I have to tell you, I mean, I have to call, it's on my list to call John because there was somebody else that I talked to the other night that's on their team, and I'm going, holy small. I mean, that's the reason they became so successful before
Yep.
because they brought in very, very sharp people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. So basically, what you want to do, in fact, you know, at 1 o'clock, I'm doing a coaching mastermind. And if you can, are you available then?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to sign on.
Okay, so here's what I'll do is I'll use you as a case study.
Okay. Oh my gosh, thank you.
And what we'll do is what I need for you to do is accept my connection request.
Yep.
And then what you'll do is when you're in here, you'll send me the email address and the password that you use to log into your account. Not here, you'll do it in the chat so nobody will see it.
Okay.
Then I'll come in and I'll get we'll use you as a case study. And so from the standpoint of what you do, and this is always the fun part. Okay, so social work. How long have you been a social worker?
Oh my gosh, 23 years.
Okay, what did you do before?
Oh my gosh, various things. Raise kids, go to school, administrative jobs. I
Okay.
do joke that I was a social worker coming out of the womb. Like I got my training very early in life.
Right. Well, super. So we'll catch up with you 1 o'clock. And
Okay. Oh my gosh, sounds great, Max.
all right, now let's come back over here because Gino wanted me to look at his page. So let's go.
Okay.
Whoops. And remember, all you need is a profile. Okay. So Gino, it doesn't look, let me unmute Gino.
Hey, good afternoon, Max.
Yeah, hi Gino. So,
Don't be alarmed if you hear some popping in the background because I'm at the shop today and my
okay,
shop is next to the gun range.
right. Okay. So I got a question for you.
Yes.
How long have we been connected?
Um, Not that long.
Okay. When did we start? Well, here, let me go over here. Okay, since March. Well, that's not long. So we got March, April, May, June, July, or into August. Say we go past March. Okay, so then April, May, June, July, August. So that's a full 5 months.
I'm also in your August boot camp.
Right. Well, you were in my, okay, but it doesn't look like you've done anything. I mean, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I mean, you do this when you can do it,
No, I get it.
but I mean, you still got cover. I mean, I don't remember uh, cover. I mean, your headline here is still doesn't reflect anything that we talked about in previous boot camps. All you talk about here is the fact that you're a gunsmith. you don't make any reference to, the fact that you're an entrepreneur and you got a network marketing business. So, let me come up here. Let me do a quote. This is one of my favorite Jim Rohn quotes. About change. Okay. So this is where you get. Now, what I can do, motivational quotes about change. Jim Rohn. Well, I don't know which one I want to use. So I'm going to take this one first. And what you do when you're going to copy these is you don't copy them from the original search results. You click on them once, and then you go over to the right, copy the image. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'll show you the difference. You're going to want to change your password. Okay. So this is the image that I got from the right. If I copy the one on the left, pop it in there. Okay. I want you to look, they look the same. Let's look at the one that we copied from the left. Small. And when you post it, it becomes fuzzy. Let's look at the first one. Hello? That's the difference. So you never copy it, okay? So for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. For things to improve, you have to improve. When you grow, everything in your life grows with you, okay? Change. Now, let's come back over here. That wasn't the one that I was originally looking for. Okay, so you got this one here. For things to change, you have to change. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. Copy it over here. Paste it in there. Now we're going to come back over here. Click on it once. Copy it from the right. Go back over here. Pop it in there. Okay. So let's look at the first one. Small. And it's grainy. Look at the second one. That's the difference. And that's the reason why you never want, okay, but now, for things to change, you have to change. Okay? So for me to go and look at your profile, log into it, you haven't done anything. All right? You haven't done anything. You have to give people a sense of who you are. Okay? All you're talking about is the fact that you're a gunsmith. You're an entrepreneur. You're all of those things that we've been talking about. Okay? And if I'm not mistaken, and the number of connections you have. Since March, you've only got, I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
Oh, you're good.
I'm not trying to beat you up. Yes, I am.
Yeah, sure. No, go ahead.
I mean, seriously, you know, again, if you have to apply the things that I'm putting them in your hands. I think we talked once and I gave you some ideas as to, I mean, okay, so you're an entrepreneur, you're a gunsmith, but you did some other things before you did that. Okay. So, now to your credit, you're posting, but let's look at all the posts. So you did this one 43 minutes ago. You did this one 52 minutes ago. $59 minutes ago. 21 hours ago. Now, again, what we post one day ago, it changed up your profile. So 3 people liked it. Do you know who these people are?
No,
Have you talked to them?
no.
Hmm. 2 days. $16. Okay. So look, the bottom line is this. You're not posting as well as you should. But more important than that, you need to change your profile. I want to give you an example.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look for Matt. All right, now everybody has a story. Okay. Now, when I started working with Matt, I think it was maybe 2 years ago. Matt has, and let's take a look at his profile. So Matt had been a DEA agent for 25 years, 27 years. Okay. He retired thanks to his network marketing business. But his entire profile goes all the way back. He was a police officer, court officer, worked for the NYPD, special agent, got involved in politics, no. He was an agency president for 6 years. And this is his network marketing, the MKM network. So his initials, Matthew K. There was nothing on his profile that talked about network marketing. All right. Now I'm going to come back up here. And I'm going to go to our messages because there is a history. Everything that you do with anybody is basically recorded. Okay. So now he jumped into my coaching program. And that's the reason we have all of this history. So what I did with him I do to all of you in boot camp in a group setting. He wanted to go faster. So I logged into his account. I helped him set everything up because he wasn't technical. So this was in April of 2023. So he's in Eddie Bestoso's line in Melaleuca, or he was. So let's come back up here. So again, all of you are going down the same process. Okay. So what we did was, now the mistake I made with Matt was I gave him too much up front. So these are, I mean, these are the trend, you know, what experience have you had with companies when you ask the Melaleuca, when you ask the network marketing question? So I gave him okay, so we started working together in January. Okay. So I gave him the first message, which all of you have. LinkedIn has suggested several times, because of what you do, we should be connected. This is what you're going to send. And then the second message. This is what we gave to everybody. To start a conversation, we send an image. I gave him some sources of images. And then the script. Just send this to a good friend, ask a question. And then to help them get started a little bit, you know, there are many opportunities available. In other words, you're talking to somebody that clearly has a need. So there are many opportunities available to someone with your experience out there that would enable you to make part-time income, like I'm doing. What experience have you had with network marketing? So I laid it out for them. What experience have you had when I use the term network marketing, referring to companies like Amway? Then, like all of you, I'm searching for prospects. But because of his background, I said, go after NYPD people, because 2023 law enforcement was, nobody in law enforcement was happy. New York. And then I said, so here's the line. You want to start talking about your Melaleuca? You know, it's positive. And I gave him too much. Name of my company is Melaleuca. So, I mean, and I told him, hold off on this stuff. Okay. Hold off. Don't use it until I show you how to appropriately use it, right? Company has an overview, the project launch script. I can show you how you can make 40K as a senior director. All of this. All right. Project launch script, how to help somebody become a senior director. And so I got them all set up. Not yet.
Come on. It's warm.
I got them all set up. All right. Now after we get them set up, I said, I gave them a week, go out and start connecting with people. And I'm going to come back. First message, second message. I'm going to help you get everything started. So I go back and I log back into his account, and right out of the gate, he's telling everybody, you know, it's like, let's connect. And after they connect, it's, would you be open to looking at an opportunity? I said, what are you doing? I gave you the script. Well, you know, but these people so clearly need what I have. I mean, they got the open the work van, they got their whole story there. He's pushing it. And I said, you can't do that. You can't do that. So I turn them loose for another week. And I come back. You know, what do you know about network marketing? They don't know anything. Well, what experience have you had with companies like Amway, Nu Skin, Mary Kay? And then I gave him one of the scripts. To be successful in network marketing, you must be passionate about this. This is what you're going to say to everybody. You got to be passionate about the products in the company. You got to be working with someone that's successful, can help you without chasing your family and friends. And you have to have good online tools. Okay. And then again, I made a mistake. I said, you want to explain network marketing? You don't need the whole thing, but part one, part two, part three, everything that you need. It's in the scripts book. So then I go back and I jump back into his account and he's doing it again. I mean, right out of the gate, would you be open to, looking at an opportunity? And I said, what are you doing? We had 3 sessions. Okay. I just sent it to a good friend, thought you'd appreciate it. And then I said, you don't look old enough to retire. What prompted you to retire? So again, it's got perfect opportunities to start. And finally, third session, I said, you know what? I brought this up. And I said, Matt, you're in law enforcement. Okay, you're in law enforcement. You can't arrest anybody without reading them their Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You can't arrest anybody unless you read this. And I said, you're not going to sign anybody up in your business if you don't follow the script. You're paying me a lot of money. All right. So that was in January. Okay. We go back. We do another session. He's doing it again. Same thing. I said, well, these are the people that you want to connect with. They're waving a flag. They're saying they need an opportunity, and you're just rushing right in and just hand it. Nope, it doesn't work that way. Okay? You have to have, when people ask you what you do, you have to have a short answer. Well, I've been in law enforcement for 27 years and currently work for the DEA. I also have a fast-growing internet business that will enable me to retire by the end of the year. And then, what have you been doing for work since you left the Coast Guard? When people ask, and you're setting people up to ask. All right? And again, in February, I had to bring it up again. He says, Matt, follow the damn script. Word for word. Okay? And this is what I got from him. I signed up 5 people in the last 3 days. It's working. Okay? Folks, I am handing all of you the scripts. I am handing you the directions, everything that you need to be able to dive into a social network with 1 billion people. 1,180,000,000 people. And there are people that are flat out waving their arms and saying, hey, I am looking for something. I need something. And you have what they need. I don't care what you're selling. You have what they need. And all you have to do is take the time. Valerie, you're here. Let me. Valerie, have you got time for a session?
Yes, I do. Good morning or
Good
good
morning.
afternoon.
Okay, so I'm going to end this one and then we'll jump on and we'll get some stuff done.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so give me 10. I'll start it at it's 19 after. I'll start on the half hour. I'll switch over to a meeting and I'll log into your account and we'll start.
Okay.
Right?
It sounds good. It sounds good.
Wow.
Okay, good.
Hi.
Okay, so for all of you, follow. I'm giving you a recipe. Giving you a recipe. And just follow the recipe, and you all are heading down a road that will take you wherever you want to go. Okay? I'll be back at 1 o'clock for a mastermind session. It's for my coaching students, but you know, we invite people in boot camp to come in and check it out. Because I'm anxious for all of you to learn a process that has helped. I can't even begin to tell you how many top earners this process has helped. And I'm here to help you. So just remember this. Let me go back over here. LinkedIn changes every day. Every day. In some cases, they're making it easier for you to connect with people. In other cases, they're not so easy. Today, if you really want to use it, you have to pay for it. I'll be back.